Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Tim Enwall, the head of Misty Robotics. Thank you for joining us, Tim.
Absolutely. Glad to be back.
Well, you've got some new developments to talk about, but first, for folks who aren't familiar with Misty Robotics, give us a little history here.
Misty Robotics is a spin-out of the very successful robot company Sphero, and we are building a platform robot, which is a programming platform for software developers. It's a robot, it's a physical thing, but essentially it's a blank canvas for businesses that want to solve problems with a robot, for high school and college teachers that want to enable students into the robot and AI future, and actually just, for adult developers who want to pursue a use for robots. And the whole unifying story behind Misty is that before us, you had to be a roboticist and build your own robot to solve a problem. We've come along and enabled, the 20 million software developers in the world to develop usefulness for robots without having to build the complexity of an actual robot.
So describe for us what Misty looks like.
So Misty is 16 inches tall, white. The best description is sort of a hybrid between Ava and Wall-E from the movie Wall-E. We took a lot of inspiration from the early Sphero interaction with Disney to build a robot that was approachable and not intimidating, because if robots are going to become part of our everyday lives in offices and workspaces and schools and homes, they must be approachable, they must be friendly, they must be non-intimidating. So she's got a swivel head, 3-degree freedom head, the screen we use for eyes, but the software developer could use the screen for any purpose, and 2 arms that are 1 degree of freedom for them to move up and down as part of her sort of personality and emotional range. Packed with a super sophisticated amount of technology, self-driving capability with a 3D depth sensor, 4K camera for high resolution photos and video, beamforming microphones so that software developers can do voice interaction with their favorite voice engine, speakers that are Google Home, Alexa quality speakers, and a track system that can navigate over electrical cords and socks and rugs and transitions between carpeted floor and linoleum floor and all of those kinds of rougher sorts of transition that you find again in commercial and school and home spaces.
And Misty 2 is now shipping out to your backers and crowdfunding. So tell us what the differences are.
Well, so a year ago we shipped Misty 1, which had most of the same technological features, but was hand-built, laser cut in Boulder. We told the market we would never ship more than 100. We actually never shipped more than 60. Misty 2 is production built professionally, assembled overseas in China with the same manufacturer that has produced 4 million Sphero robots. So highly trusted, highly effective, really built for mass production, and an industrial design that is, very attractive. If you go to mistyrobotics.com, you'll see lots of videos and photos of Misty in action. So all the same sensor set, professionally built. And the big news is that we're actually shipping to the crowdfunding backers that really invested in the vision of Misty and the whole notion of a platform robot as opposed to a bespoke robot to solve a problem. And now we're shipping version 1.03 of the software and a beta software developer kit to those early investors, if you will, to really start to pursue lots of applications for robots, both, again, useful applications in a commercial setting and educational applications in a school setting, and again, just entertaining or joyful applications, depending on the developer's perspective.
Give us an idea of some of the things that people are doing, some of your customers are doing with Misty.
Yeah, really happy to. From a commercial perspective, early customers, and some of these are actually beta customers who had pre-production versions of the production Misty 2 that we just started shipping. They've been working on things like data collection from an inventory perspective, property inspection from a office or home perspective, environmental monitoring. So looking for temperature variations, looking for air quality variations in the environment, spatial data collection in terms of using the 3D depth sensor to get spatial understanding of commercial spaces, elder care, really, helping the elderly with reminders and connectivity and safety issues, autism therapy, and customer service, personal engagement applications. And that's, that's the dozen or so beta customers we have. We'll see what the backers go pursue, but it's going to be largely, I think, in those types of commercial applications. And then we've got a lot of schools who are using it for the basis of research, whether that's human-robot interaction research or research that requires an autonomous entity to go gather information. Could be, photo information, video information, sound information, sensor information. So there's just, a ton of different uses. And honestly, Fred, there are even entertaining uses. We've got an entertainer who has a show that he's incorporating Misty into. I can't go into the details because that's an announcement for another day. But the use cases are just so myriad that we're really excited to watch what people teach their Misty.
Can you disclose how many of the Misty 2s you have orders for and what's on the way?
Yeah, we've publicly talked about this in the past. When we did our crowdfunding, we did almost $1 million in business, very successful crowdfunding, a little bit under 500 units. Since then we've continued to take pre-orders, so it's above 500 at this point.
What's your vision for this? The grand vision. You've said, I think, at one point that homes are going to have robots. And not just the ones vacuuming. Exactly.
So, the grand vision is robots everywhere. And Fred, if you look at 50 years of technology history, the dominant disruptive platforms, personal computers, the web, game consoles, AR, VR headsets, and smartphones, every single one of those has been propelled by software developers who made applications. And without those software developers making those applications, those platforms don't succeed because the world needs thousands of applications for that primary technology. And that's the vision. Give software developers of thousands of different stripes a foundational platform upon which they can build. And the combination of software developer plus platform equals vertical application, horizontal application, eventually a sharing economy, just like all those other platforms have, where software developers can share their applications, whether they're free or paid, and the robot owner gets to come along and pick and choose from the thousands of applications that become available. So, that is 50 years of technology history. We just think we're the next logical step in that history. And that, the first stage is really this tool stage where applications get built and introduced to the marketplace. And then, after 5 or 10 years, we've gone on to Misty 4 or 5. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's better. And there are tens of thousands of applications. And that's how robots get to be in every commercial setting, every school setting, every home setting.
Tell us about pricing today and where you think it needs to be for all of that to happen.
So pricing today, the MSRP is $31.99, and our pre-order discount is 25%, so it's $2,399. And honestly, Fred, we believe the price may well go up over time. It is highly probable that in the robot world of the future, instead of spending your money on a car, you are spending your money on an office assistant or a home assistant. And, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but, the home assistant that has the ability to manipulate things, move things around, use their arms and hands, if you will, their legs, if you will. That's just not going to cost $599, right? That's silly. It will be a sophisticated engine of the ability to perform thousands of assignments. So the whole notion that a consumer is only willing to pay $399, $599 for a consumer widget is false, right? Consumers spend thousands of dollars on their television to be entertained. So, I think the price point will probably remain at this for the low end, and probably go up as we have robots that are able to grab things, and have robots that are able to go upstairs, and all the other sort of sophisticated mechanical technology that today from Boston Dynamics you can buy for $1 million. In 10 years, hopefully it'll be down in the affordable few $1,000 range.
And we should point out a lot of people very willingly spend $1,000 or more for a phone today.
Absolutely. And the reason for that is because there are thousands of applications available. And the ones you, Fred, use are different than the ones I, Tim, use, which are the ones that are different than the ones, my colleagues use. And that's the power of a platform, is that you inspire tens, hundreds of thousands of software developers to make their inventions available. And then society gets a gigantic amount of value from the physical asset plus the diversity and choice that comes with the software applications available.
Once again, Tim, the best place for people to go for more info is where?
Is www.mistyrobotics.com. Lots of great information, tons of videos, use cases that are showing how robots can be useful in commercial and in school settings. So a lot of great material at our website.
We're looking forward to what's next. Again, it's mistyrobotics.com. Tim Enwall, thanks so much for taking the time with us.
Hey, thank you, Fred. Appreciate being back.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.